Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And we are. And thank you for being with us. 888-900-3393. Also, Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Getting close to the end of the week. Tomorrow, it's one of our Freaky Friday shows. Flat Earth Dave will be joining us. Can't wait for that. That should be fun. So that'll be the start of the show tomorrow with Flat Earth Dave. He doesn't even believe the Earth is a disc, right? As I understand it, he thinks it's flat and it's not round, like a record or a disc.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going into this with a clean slate, and I'm just going to let him make his pitch.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yes.
So that'll be Flat Earth Dave, top of the show tomorrow. Yep.
That'll be fun. All right. CBS News sat down with the latest IRS whistleblower, Gary Shapley, who had some interesting things to say. And this is how that went.
If this was any other person, they likely would have already served their sentence.
Gary Shapley was a lead IRS supervisory agent in Operation Sportsman, the investigation into Hunter Biden. Shapley said he uncovered conduct that warranted more serious charges.
There were personal expenses that were taken as business expenses. Prostitutes, sex club memberships, hotel rooms for purported drug dealers.
How much did Hunter Biden owe in taxes?
So from 2014 to 2019, it was $2.2 million.
The back taxes were paid off, and last week, the Trump-appointed U.S. Attorney in Delaware, David Weiss, reached an agreement with Hunter Biden. The president's son would admit to a firearm charge and plead guilty for his failure to pay taxes. If a judge signs off, the deal means no jail time.
Testimony we have just released details a lack of U.S. Attorney independence.
And Shapley told lawmakers that U.S. Attorney Weiss was blocked from bringing stronger charges. But U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland said last week that Weiss was not.
I say he was given complete authority to make all decisions on his own.
Sure, documented exactly what happened, and it doesn't seem to match what the Attorney General or the U.S. Attorney are saying today.
Shapley provided lawmakers this contemporaneous email he wrote after an October meeting last year. Shapley says Weiss told him the opposite, that Weiss is not the deciding person on whether charges are filed.
It was just shocking to me.
Shapley, who is still working for the IRS, told us that even before President Biden took office, he was directed to avoid leads involving Hunter's father.
There were certain investigative steps that we weren't allowed to take that could have led us to President Biden.
And you wanted to take them?
We needed to take them.
And you weren't allowed to take them?
That's correct.
Wow. That's a CBS News report.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They've been good. They have. They've really been good in the last few years. And I'll just say that I know somebody on the inside that...
That CBS?
Yeah.
Really?
That's a right-thinking American. Let's put it that way.
Nice.
Yeah. So I honestly really love their digital platform, like on Roku, the CBS live feeds and stuff. But they've been doing a lot of this stuff. They were also the first ones to report on. There's been so many Biden scandals, but they were the first ones on that too. So I look at CBS as kind of different than an ABC and NBC now.
They, the New York Times and Washington Post both finally reported on the IRS whistleblower and put it on, right up front and personal on page 15A.
Oh, good. Right in the front.
Page 15A. They just buried it completely. It's incredible they ran it at all, but that is pathetic. Not to have that on a front page story is where that should be. And if it were Biden, if it were Trump, it would be. It'd be on the front page.
Yeah, honestly, most of the mainstream media right now is more concerned with a former president than the sitting one.
Oh, by far.
And that is just mind-boggling.
It is. Then yesterday morning, Joe didn't like being asked about that Hunter Biden WhatsApp exchange with the guy connected with China's defense ministry. Here's a little back and forth with the reporters.
President Biden, how involved were you in your son's Chinese shakedown text message? Were you sitting there?
How involved
were you? No, I wasn't. And I don't know. Were you? No.
Wow. No. Were you sitting there? How involved were you? I wasn't. And then he just snapped, man. No!
Well, he tried to laugh it off. Like, it's so ridiculous that you would even ask me this. The walls are starting to close in on him. Kind of interesting. I mean, you got CBS, you got Fox, you have talk radio, you've got some people that are actually reporting what's going on. And some of the people, CBS included, are not the usual.
Yeah, Hunter is going to be deposed today on his laptop.
Smoking crack and drinking vodka exclusively.
Yeah, I bet that's part of it. So anyway, there you go.
Good.
We'll see. We'll see. We got more coming this week, too.
By the way, what was going on with Joe Biden's face yesterday?
Yeah, look at this.
They claim that these impressions on his face. Do we have
the pictures? Can we put them up of the indentation? Look at that, man. There was a strap across that cheek.
Yeah. They claim that's from a CPAP machine.
Let's see.
I don't know about that. Was he just wearing it?
Just roll through these. I think we have 4 different images. Let's just keep going. There's one. Okay, let's see what else we got. Because he was clearly strapped in.
Wow.
Before he went out to talk to the press.
Right.
All right.
Jeez.
What else we got? Is there another one?
Was he? I mean, did he have it on all morning while getting ready for work?
Yeah, that's what's so
while
weird.
He was with his people briefing him.
Yeah.
Was he wearing it the whole time?
Well,
that should have been gone by now.
Yeah, the White House was forced to address this later in the day. They said it was from a CPAP machine for sleep apnea. But like you said,
come on.
Was he on it right before he stepped outside?
That's madness. That's
right.
Stupid.
It was a ball gag. We're right. I don't know what's going on there. Is that for sleep apnea? Is it for a list of other things I looked up for the CPAP machine? Blood pressure, I guess it's used for. Heart disease, depression, stroke risk reduction.
Okay. Could see that.
And then upper airway resistance syndrome. I don't know what that is. It's a kind of sleep disorder.
Is it used for dementia at all?
That's what I wanted to see on this list.
I wonder.
I want to see. Somebody will find it. Somebody watching will find it and tweet us.
Some sort of oxygen treatment for him to start his day with, and maybe that's what he goes through every day. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. But that's interesting.
Could be some experimental thing on the dementia front.
Right. Something we don't know about?
We know he goes to Delaware way too often.
Because he doesn't have to log who's going to visit him there. So that's interesting. That's interesting. I mean, could it have been CPAP? I guess. And his face just stays indented all day? I don't know. I've never seen that. I've never seen CPAP marks like that on somebody who wasn't just waking up from using the CPAP.
You would think you would wake up, maybe eat breakfast.
Might be there for 5 minutes and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
That's weird, yeah.
But we're just supposed to believe anything we're told, so of course I do. I just believe.
Anything?
Yeah. I mean, that's a CPAP machine, obviously. Okay. He's a stutterer. All right, that's why. But whatever.
Oh, my gosh.
I just believe that. Yeah, his stutter problem is back. I believe that. He had no business dealings whatsoever with Hunter. Oh, okay. I believe that. He's been with President Xi for 17,000 miles.
Oh, we've got an update on President Xi coming up here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he said the same thing again, right?
It's fun.
All right.
It's fun.
Biden was then asked about Vladimir Putin, and this answer didn't go so well.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell, but he's clearly losing the war in Iraq. He's losing the war
where?
And he is
fighting the war in Iraq
become a bit of a fly around the world. And it's not just NATO. It's not just the European Union.
We don't care about that.
Japan. It's 40 nations.
All right. Did you catch that? He's losing the war in Iraq.
Yeah.
Is Vladimir Putin.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. That's not the first time he's made this error.
No, he's done it quite a few times.
Let's roll through these. Can't we?
Let's see that because there's a little video presentation of the times he's called it Iraq or whoever else.
Putin may circle Kyiv with tanks, but he'll never gain the hearts and souls of the Iranian people.
Iranian.
Whether or not they're pulling back from Fallujah. What? And from
Fallujah.
The Kherson. You know, we're dealing with it for a whole second. Inflation is a worldwide problem right now because of a war in Iraq and the impact on oil and what Russia's doing.
To what extent has Vladimir Putin been weakened by recent events? It's hard to tell, but he's clearly losing the war in Iraq. He's losing the war at home.
And there it is. Yeah, that's amazing. Iran, Iraq. He doesn't know where the hell the war is happening. He has no idea.
We got more going on with Putin if he's in Fallujah than I realized.
Yeah. Jeez. All right, let's go to Stephen. Hey, Stephen, you're on the Blaze. Welcome. Stephen?
Bingo, biatch.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Okay. All right.
All right, where'd your bingo occur?
Bottom left, straight across.
Okay.
Well, go through them.
Yeah. Let's hear them.
Alrighty.
For all those who don't have this. Okay, Keith says, plays the tambourine. Right, all right.
And then Hunter smoking crack and drinking vodka exclusively.
Yep. Something mentum. Mm-hmm.
And JV says, boozers.
Okay.
And damn handsome man.
All right. Nicely done.
A bingo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for playing, Stephen. We'll get you fixed up with all the cash prizes.
Cash and prizes.
And the new car.
What's that now?
No, there's no new car.
Wait.
He's like, whoa, hey.
Yeah, no new car. But there is merchandise from PatGrayShop.com, $30 worth, and then the dozen cookies from Kexi.com.
And a new game starts Wednesday morning.
Oh, that's right.
Because we have best ofs on Monday and Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah.
Celebrate our nation's independence.
Be back Wednesday. I think I'm doing this and Glenn show on Wednesday. Is that right?
That's not what I get. Oh,
no?
Wait, hold on. Let me flip the calendar. Sorry, that's another month.
No,
that's not what
you
I
don't
got.
have it? Oh, all right. Okay, maybe not.
I think tomorrow, aren't you in for Stu?
Oh, I am, yeah.
Have fun.
I will. So Biden went on to give a speech about what he's been dubbing Bidenomics, which, of course, is great, and it went really well. I think you're going to like this.
3/4 of U.S. industries grew more consecrated.
Consecrated, not consecrated.
I'm thinking I didn't go to Mass. They were moving to diminish competition.
It's like Porky Pig or something, man. It's like I can't think of what I want to say, so I'll just use a different word.
No, Porky Pig is a stutterer. This guy has lost it. That
guy?
Yeah.
That guy you just played?
Yeah. Hard to believe, I know. And by the way, he doesn't want you thinking he's pro-American. He corrected that very quickly.
Yeah.
I said, here's the deal, though. I'm going to be the most pro-American, most pro-union president in history, but...
I swear. I can't be on record as saying I'm pro-American.
Not pro-American. Pro-union. Oh, okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Oh, did you see the Bidenomics definition that the White House put out?
No.
Can we see the graphic, please? They want you to know what Bidenomics is, okay? All right, so this is the tweet from the White House.
Mm-hmm.
Trickle-down economics is a failed theory that has failed the middle class. President Biden is taking a different approach, and it's working.
And what's the different approach?
Well, let's see this definition here.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Can you see that? Bidenomics is about growing the economy from the middle out and the bottom up, not the top down. It's an economic vision where we make smart investments in America, educate and empower American workers, and promote competition to lower costs and help small businesses. None of that is happening. These people they are so detached from reality.
And also, what does that mean? You're going to build it from the middle out. What does that mean? And the bottom up.
I mean, I know at least one American that is benefiting from Bidenomics, and his name is Hunter Biden.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely raking it in.
My gosh.
And he did reiterate, you know, the clip that we used to play of Barack Obama saying, oh, you can build a coal-fired power plant, but it's going to be expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he said yesterday, Biden said, you can't build a coal-fired. We've made it too expensive. He's like, but boy, wind and solar, those are cost-effective. That's where the future is. In what world is this man living in? That stuff is not
cost-effective.
Does not cost-effective, does not produce.
Not even close.
Do we even have, I don't even know if I sent this in. Yeah, the solar panels in Scottsbluff, Nebraska. Shout out to a place I used to live. Another solar panel field destroyed by a hailstorm.
Oh, good.
I mean, what is the point of these things? I don't understand. This is not the first time we've seen solar panels wrecked by hail. What a joke.
Well, it's because of global warming and climate change that we're seeing hail now, which never happened before. So they're all surprised now that all of a sudden there's hail? When did that start? Let me draw you a picture for a moment. What it would be like if all of a sudden the global medication supply chain of antibiotics just disappeared right before our eyes. Most of our medicine in this country is manufactured in India and China. And you can bet that they're not going to be worried about our supply if things go bad. And if they want to punish us, that's a great way to do it. So what do you do when all of a sudden you or somebody you love needs antibiotics and there just simply aren't any? Well, the answer is you should have a supply on hand just in case of disaster. How can you do that? With the Jace case from Jace Medical. It's a great way to keep yourself prepared for anything bad that goes wrong in our supply chain. You could use these to treat a long list of bacterial illnesses, things like UTIs, respiratory infections, sinus infections, skin infections, all kinds of things. It's a great way to be ready for shortages. It's perfect for traveling. Don't get caught unprepared. Go to Jace Medical, enter the promo code PAT at checkout. That's promo code PAT at JACE, jacemedical.com.
Gray Unleashed.
It was quite a day for brain dead Biden yesterday. He wants us to know that he's reduced the deficit and keeps telling us by how much, which has been debunked over and over and over again. But he keeps saying it.
I feel bad for Daniel. Because whenever the old man says this stuff, I send him the fresh clip. Mm-hmm. When really I should just be saying, just play the 1.7 thing again. Because you've got it on.
You could.
You just got it in the archives. Yeah.
Yep.
This is so bad.
Just in my first 2 years in office, my team and I have reduced the deficit by $1.7 trillion. More than any
Jeez, I'm sick of hearing it.
Just in 2 years.
Just in 2 years.
Okay. So he reduced it by $1.7 trillion. I mean, debunked by everybody, including the Washington Post. And yet, he clings to it. He just keeps saying it. It's fascinating. It's madness.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off. But it's interesting how they just keep repeating the same lie over and over and over. Doesn't matter who says how false it is. They just keep doing it.
You know, if Trump had listened to Thomas Massey, then Joe Biden wouldn't have that talking point to lean on.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But of course, didn't work out that way.
No.
So he's got it, and he uses it. Plus, he's reduced inflation.
Has he?
Yeah.
This guy.
Uh-huh.
Today, inflation is less than half of what it was a year ago. And that inflation caused by Russia and by the war in Ukraine and by what's going on.
Yeah, because you realize a year ago I was president.
Who was?
Me, Joe Biden.
Oh, he was?
I was the president a year ago, but it wasn't my fault then either. It was Putin's fault. It was that damn Putin and his price hike.
Wait a minute.
That's
Hold on.
incredible.
A year and a half ago, we were only a few months into the Ukraine war. Really? Was it having that much of an effect at that point?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was all Putin. That's why it was at 8 or 9%. And now he's cut that in half to 4%. So he's battling himself now in these speeches. Really amazing.
It's madness.
If he could go back, it might be impressive. If he could go back and say, remember under Trump, under the previous administration. If you had that, I could understand it. Mm-hmm. You're battling yourself right now.
Yep.
Incredible. And it's not that prices are going down. They're still going up. Just a little bit less than they were a year ago. But they're still going up by 4% every month. That is not helping.
Isn't it something?
It's outrageous. It's outrageous.
It's just...
We'd have to be really, really stupid. And some people are. They'll buy into this. Man, but when the prices keep going up, the price of eggs, the price of butter, the price of sugar, the price of everything that we use in our cookies at Kexi, and then some. When they keep... I was looking at the price of buying a couple steaks the other day. It was like, I'm not going to pay $800 for 3 steaks. I'm not going to do that. That seems a little excessive. I mean, they're outrageous. Yeah. The price of meat, the price of everything that you need in your daily life to make dinner is out of control. Eggs, I don't know, what are they, 4 times the price of when Trump was in office? They have to be 3 or 4 times.
I barter for eggs now. I don't even know what the price is anymore. I just trade. Yeah,
man, it's nuts. But he's proud of it. It's less than it was a year ago. Okay, is the price less than it was a year ago? Because that would be a better claim than what you have now. And you can't even make that claim. Can't even make that claim.
I just thought of something for you. And by the way, I want to point out that Chris Cruz has chickens, and he's never brought me eggs. But Kexi, you guys should get into a deal with Mr. Clucks over here. He's got a yard full of hens, and that might help out a little bit.
Maybe.
Keep that in mind.
How many do you have? You have a dozen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 12. And how many eggs do you get out of them a day?
9 to 11.
Yeah,
that's not going to be.
Probably not.
How many cookies did I make?
No, I mean that's good for your breakfast.
Yeah.
I suppose you never have to. Are they brown when they come out? Because
I got brown, light, white.
Oh,
green.
really?
I got all the colors.
Yeah.
What determines whether they're brown or white?
Whatever the chicken makes.
Yeah, each chicken's different.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. I thought because when I lived, where do we live? Where brown eggs are local eggs and local eggs are fresh. I think it was Connecticut where they had that saying, brown eggs are local eggs and local eggs. So that's not necessarily true.
No. Huh. Now, one thing that...
Weird. I believed that lie. I've believed that lie for a decade.
Really?
Yeah, that pisses me off.
That's weird. So one thing that all of the backyard chicken eggs have in common is you better wipe them down.
Yeah, ick.
They got the nasty.
Are they icky when they come out?
Oh, yeah. I got the poop
Only
on them.
if you don't keep your coop clean.
Really? All right. Yeah, I don't.
They're brown for a different reason.
Getting super fresh milk and super fresh eggs, it's not really my idea. That's not my idea of a really good breakfast. No, thanks. Yeah. I'll go through the pasteurization process. Thanks very much.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't like that. My oldest brother used to live on it was kind of a ranch farm sort of thing. And the thing I remember most is the warm milk that was mostly cream that came right out of the cow. Ooh,
I can't do that.
I hated that.
Chill that.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Okay.
Yes. That was the sound it made. He also told us, did our wonderful president yesterday, how many times this is going to surprise you.
No.
I guess he's been with President Xi from China a few times?
Yeah, but
is that true?
He's mixed it up. He's
Oh, good.
Yeah, he's got a new wrinkle to his...
all right, let's hear it.
I've long said, and I mean this, I was on the Tibetan Plateau with Xi Jinping.
We got it.
I traveled 17,000 miles.
Here we got it.
I've spoken with him more than any other head of state.
Right.
Because it started when I was vice president.
Yeah.
President Hu was the president, and he was the vice president. We knew he was.
And what was the vice president?
It was inappropriate for Barack to spend that time with him, but I spent a lot of time with him. I met alone with him, just he and I, and a simultaneous interpreter, 68 times, 68 hours, 68 times, more than 68 hours.
Dear Lord.
By the way, I turned in all my notes.
Did you hear that? I turned in all my notes. Someone's getting a little defensive there. But he tries to set this up like it was inappropriate for Barack, President, my boss, to meet with Xi, so I did.
Yep.
Because we knew he was going to be president someday.
And again, why does he think that is such a feather in his cap? I don't care. In fact, I'd rather you didn't spend all that time with the communist leader of China. I don't see how that's a good thing. I guess it's showing his experience on the world stage. It's not impressing anybody, is it? I'd love to know if there's a single person in this country who's impressed that he spent 17,000 miles and over 68 hours with the guy. Is that a good thing? And how much money did you make from him?
Yeah.
How much money are you still making from him? And from his communist regime. Jeez.
It's
outrageous.
It's fun. It's fun.
Oh, fun. Yeah. That's what it is.
We have time to hit this John Solomon phone call reference. This story he told yesterday is, wow, this is good eating, as you might say, Pat. Listen to this thing here. You said this earlier in the show. The walls are closing in. I'm actually, after I heard this, I'm starting to think you're right.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Well, I'll tell the story. I've never told this story before. Only my editors at the Hill knew this back in 2019. I early on got some documents from the Hunter Biden laptop. By the way, before it was turned over from the FBI, there had been some documents that law enforcement had gotten through other means. And one of those documents got leaked to me, and it had a cell phone number that Hunter Biden was paid for. So I figured, oh, this is my chance. Maybe I can. I've been trying to get fair comment from Hunter Biden, so I'm going to call the cell phone. So I called the cell phone, and guess who picked up the phone?
Oh, boy.
Joe Biden.
Joe
Biden.
What?
Oh, wow.
Boy, was he shocked when he picked up the phone and found out it was me. He hung up pretty quickly. But it was the first idea. And later, when the laptop came out, we were able to prove that there were these cell phone bills that were being paid for. That certainly the laptop evidence suggests that maybe were Joe Biden's cell phones. But it was a shocker. I remember going into my editor saying, "Wow, hey, guess who I just reached? I had to get his phone. I called Hunter's phone and he picked up." This was in the summer of 2019, and so. It's just, there is a lot more. We know from the good work that I did and Miranda Devine did that Joe Biden had a lot of bills being paid for by Hunter Biden. I think that the next big shoe to drop, even before Hunter appears in the court in late July, is that there's a strong possibility that there will be a cooperation by Devin Archer, the right-hand man of Hunter Biden during the early pursuit of foreign money, a man who moved between Joe Biden and Hunter Biden seamlessly. He knows what both guys were doing in all these foreign deals. I think that could be a seminal moment that could put a very dark cloud over this president. Skies are darkening. One other thing I'll put on your map, because I think it's very important. There's another whistleblower emerging right now who provided the Securities and Exchange Commission a detailed report in November of 2016. That's the earliest known instance of allegations of wrongdoing against the Biden family. He is emerging and beginning to cooperate with members of Congress. We could have something on that as early as next week. A lot of information is coming out of the woodwork. The storm clouds are darkening over the Biden family.
Yep. Oh, that's great. I'd like to hear that. It's about time.
Yeah.
It's about time. And you can kind of feel it. And the pressure is taking a toll on Joe Biden. That's why he snapped at the reporter yesterday. He's tired of hearing it. He doesn't think he should have to face any of these questions. And he can't believe he is facing any of these questions because reporters have treated him so gently up until now. But now they're starting to see this guy is the most corrupt politician in the history of our nation.
I think that's true.
And we've got to ask him some questions about it. We have to. Otherwise, we're not legitimate news people. There's much more where that came from on the way.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome. 888-933-93. Got some tweets here. Jack's had enough tweets. I have a friend who has to use a CPAP, and he'll have the marks from the straps for half a day. Oh, well, I guess you're supporting Joe Biden then.
Wow, what are you?
Yeah. You love Joe Biden so much?
What's not to love?
I guess it could have been CPAP straps then. What? All right. That's possible. Holy Smoke 1776 tweets, the Democrats always claim to be the party for the working class. When was the last time the Communist Party pushed to lower taxes? Yeah, I don't know. It's been a while. Although Russia has I think last I heard, and maybe it's changed, but it was a 13% flat tax. Russia. God, man. Pedo Pete's burner phone. Building from the middle out to the bottom up means that they'll take all the money from the middle and give it to the bottom.
There you go.
The top just keeps everything else. Nodak Trumplican. Joe may not know where the war is being fought, but he definitely knows where to send our taxpayer dollars. Yeah. Mm-hmm. High Plains Stranger, you can be rich and successful too. All you need to do is take bribes from dictators and hide the money in LLCs. Bidenomics offers an opportunity for everyone. Yeah, to do just that, apparently. Total Browns move. Biden's lies are making North Korea's Kim Jong-il's 11 holes in one a believable story.
Now, hold on a second. Don't you dare shortchange dear leader.
It was 18.
Thank you.
It was 18 holes in one.
And he caught a unicorn.
Oh, that's right.
Which may have been on the same day, or may have been at the turn of the 18 holes. I don't know.
Well, the guy was divine, so you don't want to shortchange him at all. He could do whatever.
Didn't he fall from heaven?
I think he did. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what happened.
That's pretty awesome.
B. tweets, different breeds of chickens lay different colored eggs. I once had a hen that laid green eggs.
Oh.
Just like green eggs and ham.
I'm taking that hen
story
back.
South Mindy, Pat needs to devote an entire show to imitating Biden. Does such an awesome job doing it.
Aww.
Really not that difficult. But thank you. Thank you very much.
2 hours of acting dementia riddled. Wow, that'll be fun.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun? Oh, man. So Fox and Friends had Chris Christie on set today.
Whoa, were they outside then?
And no, they forgot to reinforce the couch and it broke in half.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad.
Now we know how the couch got curvy.
Yeah, well, it was curvy and then it broke. It's just busted now. So they should have had the steel girders put in place before he got there. But I guess they didn't.
That's good stuff. Chris Christie.
I don't know why the guy bothers. Why Mike Pence bothers. Why? Actually, Chris Cruz has eliminated Francis Suarez from the list of presidential candidates.
I got Suarez Mintum. What are you talking about?
I know, right? But after yesterday's stupidity, or the day before, whenever that was, and he said... he didn't know who the Uyghurs were.
Exactly.
It was during that interview with Hugh Hewitt the other day. And Hugh Hewitt said, what are you going to do about the Uyghurs? He's like, the what? The who? The Uyghurs. Uyghurs?
The Weebles?
What's a Uyghur?
The Weebles.
Is that a wobble? A weeble who wobbles but doesn't fall down?
So Chris Cruz, in other words, Francis Suarez hasn't said he's out.
No.
Chris Cruz just sees the writing on the wall and says no.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
If we could do that, Joe Biden should have been eliminated.
Yeah, where's the
a long time ago. And so should a lot of these guys, frankly.
Don't you do it, though. Don't you dare diss Will Hurd.
No, Will Hurd. There's Hurd Mentum right now.
Hurd Mentum.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be... How many individuals do you think will actually be around for... I guess the debate isn't
for
that
the
far.
primaries?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say the first debate is what...
Yeah, I think they'll all be there for the first debate.
Yeah.
But then you'll start to see some attrition, I think. After the first debate, that's when people drop out. Because there's going to have to be a kiddie table again, isn't there? You can't You can't have all these guys up on stage at once. You got to have the kiddie table. So the first night, you have the stars, and then the second night, nobody watches, and you have the also-rans.
August 23rd is our first Republican debate. And, of course, we don't have any Democrat debates scheduled because Joe Biden refuses to face the juggernaut that is Marianne Williamson. I mean, the RFK guy, too, running. So he's avoiding them. So we're not going to get any of those.
Well, Marianne Williamson is scary. She's brilliant and scary, and I wouldn't want to debate her.
Yeah.
Man, that's, like you said, a juggernaut.
I'm normally way over there with Bernie and Elizabeth.
Is there anybody else who can yodel while they speak? Not that I know of, not in the race anyway. I'm normally way over there.
Gosh, man,
what a race.
Don't forget, we have 17 states with open primaries, Texas included, on Super Tuesday. As it stands right now, I am more invested in defeating Joe Biden than I am about picking a Republican. So I'm planning on voting for RFK in the primary just to help eliminate Biden. I'd rather have an exhale moment in March as opposed to having to stress out and wait until November. So that's my plan as it stands now.
That's not a bad plan.
Yeah.
17 states have open primaries?
Yep.
Where you don't have to be a member of the party
Correct.
to vote for that party.
You just walk up and you say, I want to vote. Give me a Democrat ballot.
Okay.
That's my plan. Operation Chaos, Rush Limbaugh. Let's do it for him.
Yeah. Man, those are good times. Miss him. Yesterday, we got a look at the Titanic sub-debris for the first time. They brought it back to Canada, and there was some wreckage that, I don't know if they thought they were going to find pieces this big.
Yeah, and they also confirmed that they discovered what they believe was human remains inside. Ugh, gosh.
Jeez.
Not good.
Ugh. Can you imagine that? I mean, I can't imagine what that must have been like to see.
Can I just
not cut out for that kind of work?
There's a pathead named DeGerbert who is a little bit, I guess it's fair to call him a skeptic on news of the world. And
Really?
He tweeted out yesterday, so in less time than it took to admit, it imploded and we knew about it 5 days ago, they have located the wreck,
right?
Dove down, brought it up, brought it to land.
Okay.
Not one photo of it on the seafloor. All that since Friday.
The allegation being
what allegation?
The implication being
what?
What is?
I just love him. He's got good stuff. And then we've got.
It does seem unlikely.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
That's a rapid
Seems
timeline.
unlikely.
And then I like this tweet from not you, Pathead, not you. Different. Let's see. The pounding they thought was from that Titan sub. Maybe it was from the Titanic itself. I don't know.
So somebody's still alive down there 111 years
Maybe
later.
There's a ghost. Is that Rose? Who's down there? I don't know. Give me a name of somebody that didn't make it. Anyway, Jack, right?
Jack didn't make it.
See, it's probably oh my gosh, it's what's the actor's name? What is he doing these days? What kind of movies is
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's out there
I miss
preaching climate change.
Yeah,
good.
He sure is. All right, so. Chris Cruz just came into the studio a while ago asking about turning to God. Said, I keep saying we got to turn to God, but how do you do that? Well, I think we've discovered it. I think this is self-explanatory, Chris, and you're going to understand.
All right.
How we turn back to God here. The Sparkle Creed from a church in Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Lutheran church. Totally mainstream. What we're about to see here.
Totally.
But if you're familiar with the Apostles' Creed, it's almost like it's what the apostles believe, almost like a Cliff Notes version. And then you recite this during church. Well, they've got a new spin on it here at this church in Minnesota.
You could say that. It's a pretty new spin.
The Sparkle Creed.
Sparkle Creed.
I believe in the non-binary God.
A non-binary God.
I believe in Jesus Christ, their child, who wore a fabulous tunic and had 2 dads.
Pause it for a second.
Oh, there's a lot there.
Who wore a tunic?
A fabulous tunic.
A fabulous tunic.
We
What
should
does a tunic have to do with anything?
Hold on.
Why is that an important element of the Sparkle Creed, I wonder?
Yeah.
Who wore a fabulous tunic
and had two dads.
Okay.
I mean, it's totally biblical what's happening here. This is an ELCA church. I should have known this. Oh my goodness, this is the furthest left you can get on
ELCA. What does that stand for?
On the Lutheran spectrum, there, Evangelical Lutheran Church of America.
Holy.
Oh, they're good. They're so good.
So they have separated themselves, or the Lutheran Church has separated them from the mainstream?
I would say that Lutherans have separated themselves away from the ELCA that used to be it might still be the biggest, but there has been so many in the last 10 years. They're the actual, this is a fun fact, ELCA was meeting in Minneapolis, if you recall, back in 2009, and there was a big debate, are they going to recognize gay marriage? And tornado hit right next to the arena where they were voting. That's a fact. Look it up. 2009, summer 2009. Anyway,
what are you implying there? What is that implication?
I was just giving you weather history.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean?
Right.
But do we want to finish the Sparkle Creed? Because it's good.
Yeah.
Your child who wore a fabulous tunic and had two dads and saw everyone as a sibling child of God.
Oh, this is blasphemy.
I believe in the rainbow spirit who shatters our image of one white light and refracts it into a rainbow of gorgeous diversity.
Oh, for golly
I believe in the church of everyday saints as numerous, creative, and resilient as patches on the AIDS quilt, whose feet are grounded in mud and whose eyes gaze at the stars in wonder.
Wow.
I believe in the calling to each of us that love is love is love.
Oh, beautiful.
So, beloved,
That's beautiful.
Let us love.
That's beautiful.
I believe, glorious God, help my unbelief. Amen.
Oh, wait. We got
For
prayers.
Taylor Swift and her Swiftie fans and all music that inspires us, help us shake it off when life takes a turn. Remind us that we can still make the whole place shimmer. And when the time comes, help us confess and say,
okay, you're just
it's
making
me.
a joke.
Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
Out of worship.
God of love.
Phew, wow. Wow.
Wonder what the weather report for that church is today.
Ooh. Lightning strikes? Multiple? Fire? Brimstone? I don't know. Is there brimstone in the forecast for that particular area today? Where did that happen? In Minneapolis. Yeah, or Minnesota at least. Minnesota has turned freaky too. Just a lot like Oregon. There are some freaks in Minnesota. That is just flat out blasphemy. Absolute blasphemy.
I got to find out what the weather's going to be like there in St. Edina or Dina or whatever it is.
How do you get a whole group of people like that to just repeat all the nonsense coming out of your face?
The sad thing about that entire thing is you could hear kids in the background.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And then I have a picture of the congregation. Hey, white people, what are you doing? Like old white people, why are you at that church?
Are there a lot of people in there? Because it sounds like it.
Yeah.
It's old white.
And did you catch that line?
Wow.
That line that was in there? I can't find it. Okay. I believe in the rainbow spirit who shatters our image of one white light.
Yeah, I did catch that.
And refracts it into a rainbow of gorgeous diversity.
Yeah, jeez. Good golly.
So what am I supposed to do with that, Pat? You say turn to God and use that creed?
Listen to that creed.
Did you not hear it?
And then follow accordingly. You know, I think turning to God to me means, we get back to prayer, thinking about God, following his commandments. We, as a nation have to join together and remember and realize that there are certain things that are just that are universal. And some of those things are following the Ten Commandments. That's just universal, right? And unless we do that, unless we realize this is a nation of faith, this is a nation that was founded on those principles, and we start living those principles, man, we're just not going to make it.
Yeah.
We have to turn to him.
And not to put words in your mouth, but would you say that these are individual actions?
Oh, yeah.
That you must take.
Yes.
You can't look to Washington, D.C. or any particular leader.
It's got to come from within.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of within, if you're struggling right now with stiff or aching joints and you're tired of letting that discomfort steal the joy and freedom from your life, then here's a natural solution that I think you're going to love. It's called Joint Support. It's by Pure Health Research, and it's amazing. Contains 7 of Mother Nature's best superfoods for supporting comfortable, healthy, and flexible joints. Really amazing what can happen if you have these superfoods in your system. It's really amazing. It even promotes healthy cartilage growth. All it takes is one small capsule of Joint Support every day to start feeling the positive effects on your joint health. And as a listener of this show, you can try Joint Support risk-free today and get a free 30-day supply of omega-3 when you take advantage of this special offer. So you're getting 2 free ebooks so you can learn more about joint health. You just head over to getjointhelp.com/Pat and order Joint Support and claim your free bottle of omega-3 while those supplies last. That's getjointhelp.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right. How about a feel-good video?
Oh,
do we have time for the Justin Trudeau?
Yeah, we do.
He was heckled in Canada yesterday for being a groomer and allowing sex change surgeries for Canadian children. Watch this.
Everywhere he goes, this man is heckled, and I love it. I love it.
You're asking, or can we stay here? This is a public sidewalk. It is a public sidewalk. Don't move your feet off the public sidewalk. Keep your feet on the public sidewalk.
Here comes Trudeau.
Hey, Justin, I have a quick question for you.
Traitor.
How dare you do to Coward! Why do you support the mutilation of children? You sick. Wave if you're a pedophile, that's right.
That's great. Wow.
You sick. Wave if you're a pedophile.
Wave if you're a pedophile. Wow.
There you go.
Okay. Those people are now in a
come on.
in a concentration camp in Newfoundland. Yeah, yeah. But don't worry about it. I think it's really nice this time of year there. You know, it's warmer than it would be if it were winter in Canada.
That's true.
Yeah, so everything's fine.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And welcome. You know, we just had that feel-good video of Justin Trudeau in Canada being heckled. I mean, why is it that he will rail against mutilation in the Muslim religion, where, you know, we're all opposed to that, I think. But he'll rail against that. But it's perfectly fine for transgender children. That's fine. We'll mutilate your body, and it's not a problem at all, so long as you're not doing it in the name of religion. We'll mutilate all day long. And so these people were yelling at him and calling him a pedophile, among other things.
If the shoe fits.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because the Royal Canadian Mounties would usually put a stop to that. I mean, they don't have the same kind of freedom in Canada that we do. And ours is running out as well. But, I mean, they really crack down on that kind of stuff. And when you can't even read a scripture on the street without being arrested, how is it that you can yell pedophile and swear words at Justin Trudeau? It's amazing they got away with that. That's great.
Hey, they were on a public sidewalk.
Yeah, right. And don't you move 1 inch past that public sidewalk.
Did you hear that, cop?
Yeah. But here's another feel-good video. We need these kinds of videos, these kinds of people. We need the normal gay population to speak out against these groomers and these people who are so radical and left that they think they can do anything they want, anytime, anywhere, no matter who's around, including children, which is what happened at all the pride parades last week with all the nudity and sexual activities that were happening at the pride parades. Here's one gay man talking about it and taking a stand against it.
My fellow LGBTQIA plus, baby, y'all are doing too much. And yes, I'm going to be the one to say it, because if a straight person says it, y'all going to say they're homophobic, this, that, and the third, and it's like, no, boo, you're just doing the most, and it's really not cute. Because can someone explain to me why I'm seeing all these pride videos, people in the streets acting like they ain't got no home training, but see Bucci, Chi-Chi's all out on display for everybody to see, middle New York, broad daylight, minors present. Like, since when is that okay, sis? Because it's not. And bitch, don't get it twisted. On a scale of 1 to classy, I'm not giving royal family by any means. Like, I love to turn up, shake some ass, and have a good time, but bitch, time and place. And that was not it. Y'all, when I tell you I saw this chick, practically nothing on top of a water fountain, water spraying all up in her cookies, nookies, and crannies. I'm just wondering what type of antibiotic that doctor's gonna prescribe for all that. People hanging from street lights, hooking up on the side of the road. What in the land before time Neanderthal behavior? Raggedy is the word for it. They already don't with us like that, and this is how you want them to perceive us. Pride is an event based around acceptance and equality, not an excuse for y'all to act a fool. All right, y'all. As long as you guys know that does not represent the entire LGBTQIA plus community. Even I'm like, what the
Thank you.
Do better.
Do better. Oh, that is good stuff right there.
It is.
Thank you for that. I don't know the guy's name. Did it say somewhere and I missed it?
Well, it was tweeted out by Gays Against Groomers. I don't know who this individual is, though. They took it off of
well spoken.
His TikTok is _ AJT Sanchez.
Okay. Awesome. Really good. And like he said, when we say it, we're homophobes, we're transphobes, blah, 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 blah. It's going to be hard to call him that. We got some tweets here. Wes Usury tweets, you ask some of these candidates, you ask why some of these candidates bother. Actually, the answer is to bother the process. And it looks good on a resume, which is why I'm announcing my candidacy on Pat Unleashed. Thank you, Wes. Well, that's great.
What is there is a cost associated to file, to run for president. I think it's a few $1,000, right?
I think it is.
So,
yeah,
you want to pony up that, then you can legitimately put on your resume, former presidential candidate.
Right. From the cranky old lady, the Ella is an embarrassment.
No, ELCA.
The ELCA.
ELCA.
If you want to say it in name.
The Lutheran Church that we played earlier.
Yeah, the ELCA is an embarrassment to true Lutherans. Martin Luther is spinning out of control. Yeah. Father God, please intervene. Yeah. I know.
Big fan of beer, Martin Luther.
Yeah? Was he really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Legendary.
Really? Huh. Hottie McHotcakes.
Why do you think I'm Lutheran now?
The Sparkle Church is just proof that they've made their lifestyle a religion. Pride Month is their Christmas. We must continue to expose this blasphemy, or our nation is done for good. I agree with that. That's why we do that. Even though it's difficult to watch this stuff and listen to it because it's so outrageous and so offensive. You know.
By the way, I Googled to see how much it costs to run for president. I'm sure it varies state to state, but Vermont came up for whatever reason. If you want to be a presidential candidate on the Vermont ballot in 2024, it just costs you $2,000.
Okay.
$2,000 for that resume enhancement?
That's not bad.
I mean, how many people on Monster.com and Indeed have that on their resume, huh?
Not very many.
$2,000.
Yeah. There's a new poll from Pennsylvania that's out. This is done by Quinnipiac, and it shows Donald Trump beating President Biden among Pennsylvania voters. You might recognize Pennsylvania as a swing state, as a state that needs to be won by Republicans this coming election period. It looks like it's really close, though. 47-46, Trump over Biden.
Too close.
Very much so.
Fraud could totally intervene in that case.
Indeed.
You need to be up 15 in these states.
A majority of independent Pennsylvanians said they would vote for Trump as well, 51-38. Wow. With independents like that. Of course, with Republicans, 49% said they'd vote for Trump in the primary, 25 DeSantis. So 24 points ahead in that poll as well. It's interesting. Doesn't seem like DeSantis is making any inroads, does it? Doesn't seem he's not gaining yet. Maybe he won't. We'll have to see. But there's
Suarez has already filled that void.
Yeah.
Francis Suarez.
Yeah, don't forget Francis Suarez because he's on fire.
Mm-hmm.
On fire. Also, there are large swaths of Texas.
Speaking of on fire.
Exactly. That are forecast to be hotter than the surface of the sun.
All right. Look at us.
Okay, we're going to be hotter than 99%. 99% of the rest of the planet. That's...
Was that yesterday?
Yeah, that was yesterday. We already were hotter than 99%.
Look at us, huh?
Yeah, it's just scorching heat here.
Uh-huh.
We peaked at 107 yesterday, did we?
I don't know what
107.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, is it going to be hotter today? According to the weather service that I have on my iPad, it said we're in for 90s next week.
Yeah, I know it's going to be like chilly.
So
102 today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
And then 90s for the
90s.
Next 9 days after that.
I like it.
So
I like it.
It's almost gonna feel like sweater weather when it's 94 degrees over the weekend.
Sure is. But I was looking at my hometown while it was 100 and I think at the time I was looking it was like 104 here. It was 71 degrees on the mean streets of Helena.
This is the time of year
71.
you shouldn't do that.
I know. It just hurts.
I've got so many saved cities that I've been to in the Mountain Time Zone, and I just torture myself. I'm like, oh,
look at that. That's where I should be right now.
Uh-huh.
Right now.
Let's see here. Hang on. Barrow, Alaska is 40 degrees.
Oh!
Thought I'd let you know that. Let's go to...
Of course, it's very early in the morning, but still.
Yeah.
40.
Let's see. Cheyenne's 52 right now.
Oh, my gosh.
That's nice. Oh, let's check in with Boise.
All right.
59.
59.
My word.
What is it, 90 here, I'll bet, this morning?
Let me check here. As soon as I check.
7 o'clock our time.
Conifer, Colorado.
I would
54.
bet 88, 90, somewhere in there.
Go with 88. Let's go with it. This is not right. Come on. 82?
Oh, come on now.
Come on. I was driving in. It was 87.
Yeah.
Stop.
On. No, it's not.
Got to refresh Irving. Anyway.
But the heat we're facing is obviously from climate change. So thankfully, there are protesters doing something about it. You know, like in Britain, where they're blocking traffic again because there's nothing better than making cars sit there and idle. There's nothing better for the environment than stopping the traffic, and they're all sitting there waiting for you to get out of the way, and they're just idling.
Incredible.
That's really good for the planet.
I've heard that. Look at these morons.
Idiots.
Look at this.
Oh, good.
Bicyclist guy.
Guy on a bike moving people out of the way. Good for you.
Get out of the way!
Right. Good.
Get out of the bloody way. Like one other guy's helping.
Yeah. Which should be every person that stopped there should be out.
Is this the first day that this guy... I love this guy on the bike. But is this his first day as a bike rider?
I don't know.
Because
I don't know.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, he is.
And you don't normally see that. Oh, look at these freaks. Chain of vegans across the road.
Yep. Morons. And there you go. They restored traffic flow. Good for them. Thank you. Little common sense. They manned up and grabbed the bull by the horns and took care of the situation. That's great. No police involved. Just get the hell out of the way. Would you please, you stupid morons? Get out of the way, or you're going to get run over. Mm-hmm. And then if they did, then they're, of course, the victims. I'm sorry, you put yourself in the road. That's what happens when you get in the road. Oh, man.
This is where cars go.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
There's a sidewalk for a reason. We don't build that just for fun. The climate cult interrupted a cricket match also.
Do not mess with cricket matches, bro.
Not in England. Here's what happened.
In the early stages of play, Johnny Bairstow forced to carry off a protester after orange powder was thrown. They quickly cleared it up and play got back underway. We'll bring you the latest from Lords. That's on the way.
I love how the player is carrying the dude off. That's awesome. Let's get you out of here. Can I just say, as bad as the heat is here in Texas, and it's terrible, man. At least we're not dealing with the smoke from Canada that is again coming down. Yeah. Milwaukee, Chicago, Cincinnati. Here it comes again. Do they not? I mean, are we not putting them out? What's happening? Can we?
I guess they can't put them out. They're trying to
work on that.
They're trying to, but I don't know. Maybe they don't know in Canada what does that. You might try water. Try water on it.
Write that down.
Yeah. Try water.
Yeah.
Or dirt. Dirt might smother it as well. Just a couple of suggestions. I realize I'm a Yank, but I'm not a professional forest fighter.
I think what the issue is Justin Trudeau is more concerned about cutting up little kids.
Yeah.
Than he is about putting out the fires up there.
Also, let me tell you about real estate agents I trust, because when you want to sell your home, maybe buy a home because you're relocating, you got to do both. It's such a huge investment, probably the biggest investment you'll ever make, and you want somebody who can really get you through the process. Somebody who can help take that stress off of you and make the really important decisions, like what do you remodel? Should you replace the flooring? Should you replace countertops? All of that stuff has to be decided on, and you might think, well, yeah, we got to do it because that'll increase the value of the house. Sometimes not enough. So it's the realtor who can lead you down all those paths and help you make these important decisions. They're also fans of the show. We make sure of that so that you've got things in common. You're not going to be dealing with some climate change goofball, some idiot who's, yeah, you know what, Joe Biden's doing a heck of a job. He reduced the deficit by $1.7 trillion. Yeah, you're not going to have to hear that. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. RealestateAgentsITrust.com.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
Tomorrow, we are going to be talking with Flat Earth Dave. I think he's the president of the Flat Earth Society, right?
Oh, is that right?
I think. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
This is the guy that Jeffy talked to a while ago, interviewed on his show. And so, should be fun. He's got some interesting thoughts on the shape of the Earth and what it does or does not do. For instance, it doesn't orbit the sun.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right.
This is the longest bumper music in the history of bumper music. I want to hear where that organ's going to go.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so that's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Top of the show. How long do you think you're going to spend with Flat Earth Dave?
I guess it depends on Flat Earth Dave and how interesting he is. So we'll see. It's
going to be fun.
We'll see. Maybe the whole show. I don't know. I talked to, this was years ago. I think it was in Salt Lake City when I talked to the president of the Flat Earth Society. And that was fascinating. He's gone now. We lost him. We lost him. But he had some interesting theories that the sun is just the size it appears in the sky. Oh. Okay.
That
so
sounds about...
it's not really huge and 93 million miles away. Right. That's ridiculous. It's 37 miles from the Earth. And it's just that tiny little thing.
I'm pretty sure that's... I don't want to make Dave's case for him here.
But is that what he thinks too?
I'm just thinking, I've tried to really not... I just want to go into this thing.
I do too, with an open mind.
But I saw something
Convince
of his, and it was like the sun was going around the... I think it was probably something similar to what you just described.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
And the moon too, right? It's like they're equidistance apart as they just rotate over the top of us.
So they rotate around us, right? But we're on a flat plane. It's a plane. It's not a disc or certainly not a sphere.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
I represent science.
Yeah. And he also doesn't believe, if I'm not... correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but he also doesn't believe we've ever been to space, right? Because there is no space or something?
Yes, because there's no space. So if for the TV watchers, this is why you need to go to blazetv.com/Pat. They have a plane.
Yeah.
And you could just go enough. Now, he will say the reason why you can't go any higher is because government will not let you and it's not allowed.
The government?
The government has that much power, yes.
Oh, wow.
But he says the
Wow.
reason, another theory that he says, the reason why we launch and we go like on a tilt way is because there is no space, there's nothing up there. So you have to go kind of sideways, and that's how you see the Earth from that perspective of the shuttle leaving sideways, kind of like not straight up.
But it never has been orbiting the Earth.
No.
We've never done that.
Because you can't orbit
Right.
the Earth because there's nothing
Right.
to orbit around.
And you can't, can you not go to the moon either? Have we not been to the moon?
I don't know if he believes in the moon landing.
If he believes in the moon?
I don't know if he believes in the moon landing.
Oh, the moon landing. Okay. Hopefully he believes in the moon, that there is one.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But it's a good theory, though. It's a good theory. I like it.
You like it? Okay.
All right, well.
All right.
Chris Cruz signed off on it.
Yeah, should be fun. It'll be fun. This is kind of fun, too. There might be an extra planet. Now, these are people who believe we're a sphere. These are the silly gooses who believe that the Earth is a sphere. They're also saying now our solar system could be hiding an extra planet the size of Uranus. But they don't say whose anus. They just say Uranus. So I don't know. Is it Jeffy? Is it a Jeffy size?
Let me eat!
Or,
depends on whoever's reading the article, I suppose.
I guess so. It is possible that a giant planet, and Uranus it's huge. It is big. So to think of another planet that size that we don't know about, that would be amazing. But it lurks in the Oort cloud, which begins hundreds of billions of kilometers, they put, which that could be 4 inches from this planet, or it could be 4 trillion miles. Nobody knows. There's no way to tell. But it's beyond Pluto, and this is space that's typically been considered the domain of comets. Most multi-planet systems, especially those with giant worlds, like our own solar system, undergo what's called a dynamical instability at some point in their lifetime, where the planets interact gravitationally and violently swing past one another. Often this is thought to result in one or more of these worlds being hurled out of the system entirely. And they think that happened to this particular planet, but it got hung up and stopped somewhere on the edge of our solar system.
Just to provide an illustration of how big Uranus is.
Yeah.
You can see it way out there. See, it's right there.
Yep.
And this is the greatest meme of all time. This is awkward. Look what's happening to Earth there. See that? You see how it's everybody's a sphere except for us. We're just a flat little. That is awkward.
That is awkward. We don't really fit. One of these things just doesn't belong.
Which one of these is not like the others? Anyway, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I like that.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were even contemplating that there might be another huge planet out there that far. Really interesting. All right. 5 people have been infected in this country with malaria in Florida and, of course, Texas, because that's where it always happens. Texas. Potentially fatal, disease that's carried by mosquitoes. Not just one mosquito carries this, but many of them do. And it's marking its return for the first time in over 2 decades into the United States. We haven't had a case of malaria for 2 decades. Why?
Wow, so we've had Ebola, though, more recently than malaria here in Texas.
Yeah, we have.
Why are we always picked on?
I don't know.
I wonder if it has anything to do with an open border. Probably nothing to do with
Open border?
No. So we got malaria floating around, and a lot of people were reminding me that Bill Gates once released a swarm of mosquitoes on a crowd to make a point about malaria.
What?
Yeah, that was many years ago.
Don't know that I've ever heard that.
Oh, no, wait, I got a better one for you. So,
all right.
So what is today? It's the
29th.
I already gave up on June. I've already flipped to July. Okay, so it's the 28th, right?
It's the 29th.
Sure?
Yes.
Dang, man.
It says right on my
I
computer.
remember anything. Okay, so it's 29th. So is the 3rd of June about 3 or 4 weeks ago, right? So we're just 3 or 4 weeks ago, we have this headline. Novavax partners with Bill Gates with the Gates Foundation offshoot in efforts to develop malaria and TB shots. Because this dated June 5th, 2023, in Forbes magazine.
So they're going to combine a malaria vaccine with the...
Well, I don't know that's not really the point that we're trying to make here, is that Bill Gates involved in making money with malaria shots. And my gosh, what happened 3.5 weeks later? Malaria discovered in the United States. This guy.
That is interesting.
This guy.
It's interesting. Is there a number people can call about that, Ivan? Is there a number? When can people call?
So there you go.
So Gates is into everything that's nefarious, right? I mean, he's just controlling absolutely everything. He's giving people malaria. He is trying to cut down on the population on the planet. So that's part of what drives all of this.
Stubborn fact that always lingers in the back of your mind when you hear about this guy.
Yep, because he self-admittedly wants there to be fewer people here. And I think he believes it should be at least half, cut in half or more. And how do you do that? Well, you can sterilize people. And they've discussed that. Maybe sterilizing people through these vaccines. I don't know.
Does anybody in his family that is connected to something like let's just say there was a baby killing organization,
like Planned Parenthood?
That's a good way to spin it. That's a good way to spin it. Let's call it Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
Any connections there between
Any connections? Yeah, between him and his father, who was the head of Planned Parenthood at one point. Yes.
That's weird.
Yeah, there are connections there. That is weird, isn't it? Planned Parenthood wants fewer people on this planet?
So you're going to roll up your sleeves for a malaria vaccine?
Nope. No, thank you. Especially one that's backed and maybe promoted, funded by Bill Gates. Yeah, no thanks. No thanks. I'll take a pass on that.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed. This is the Blaze Radio Network at theblaze.com/radio.
Hey, if you're thinking you might need something delicious around the 4th of July, may I recommend Kexi Cookies. They will hit the spot. I've been so busy lately, I was just doing dishes there the other day. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. That's all I can do there. I can't eat the cookies, can't bake the cookies, but I can do dishes.
You think maybe we could get a video of you washing dishes?
We could do that.
Social media?
Mm-hmm. Perhaps. Since I am Mr. Twitter, that's right up my alley. You know that.
When you wear an apron, say, in a kitchen, does it say, "Kiss the cook" on it?
Does not. No, it doesn't. No,
you have an assignment, y'all. Send it in.
All right. So if you want something delicious, Kexi.com, KEKSI.com. I still highly recommend, and we still have them around by popular demand. It's the raspberry lemonade cookie. Oh man, so good. Just so good. Senator Rand Paul was on with Australian TV yesterday, and he had some fascinating things to say. We're talking about all of the facts starting to close in on higher-ups in our country, the elites in our country, the deep state, the people making decisions for us on our behalf. It's all starting to come out now. And how long have we been saying it was the Wuhan lab? That's where COVID-19 came from. It was the stinking Wuhan lab. And Rand Paul was talking about that yesterday.
Knowing that basically researchers believe that pandemics begin about 12 to 14 weeks before the pandemic really hit. So, the pandemic that was publicly known really is going gangbusters in January of 2020. So you go back 8, 10, 12 weeks, you get back to about the period of time when the researchers fell ill. And my theory is that what happened is they fell ill. They knew they were researchers. They had to immediately suspect that it was from something in the virus. They were in all likelihood tested for the first SARS, SARS-1, the one that occurred in 2003 and 4. But their test would have been negative because there's not an overlap in the testing. So I believe they probably were tested, and then they crossed their fingers and hoped that, like the first SARS, it wouldn't be that contagious. But then it smoldered, and then it exploded. And I think when it exploded, then I think they knew for sure it came from the lab, but they haven't been forthcoming with us.
Yeah, that's such a good point that they would have been tested with the first test. I haven't heard anyone make that before. Look, just while we're on the time frame, do you think it is November 2019 when they fell sick? Because when I interviewed John Ratcliffe, the former director of national intelligence, he suggested that they might have fallen ill in October 2019, and there is evidence that by November the virus was already spreading in Wuhan.
Yeah, I think that's possible. So in September of 2019, as you know, they take down the database that houses all the genetic information for coronavirus. This is something that Dr. Shi had up, and there was access by the public and scientists. She takes that down in September. So you think, well, gosh, maybe she already knows something in September. We also know that in October, for about a week, the cell phone traffic goes down. So they have a way of telling how many people are using their cell phone in particular locations. Inside that lab for about a week in October, all of a sudden there's no cell phone traffic or very limited cell phone traffic, which many people have taken to believe that that's when they're fumigating the place, that they already know there's a leak. So if they're doing that in October, it may have been, before that. So there's a lot of evidence. Now, when were these people sick? They still could have gotten sick in November, and maybe they weren't the first patients, but it also maybe they got sick in October. The other thing is sometimes you're infected for about a week or so before you know you have any symptoms as well. But the bottom line is it sounds like they were one of the first, if not the first. And when you have an illness come from a lab dealing with a contagious entity like these viruses, they should have known and they should have warned the rest of the world. And frankly, I think this type of research is still a risk to the rest of us. It's done in our country. I think you probably do it in Australia as well. It's done around the world, and there needs to be more domestic limitations by each country on this type of gain-of-function research. But also, I think there needs to be a meeting, an international consortium of people to talk about biological dual use or possible weaponry or possible contagions, where we all come together and voluntarily agree to more strict scrutiny of this kind of research.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Interesting stuff there. But, I mean, what a leap, though, for Senator Rand Paul to say, look, you had these folks at the lab that were probably infected. They probably ate lunch at the wet market, right?
Yeah.
And brought it back
probably
to the
had
lab.
some bat soup. And they probably got it at that market. So you're right. You're right.
It's a leap to say that they're making these infectious diseases gain a function that they're
we're funding it,
right? And we're funding it, right? And
then
next thing you know, there's a international outbreak. But again, it
had nothing to do with the lab.
I mean,
nothing to do.
The wet markets are right there.
A conspiracy nut. If you think it did.
Jeffy have with us yesterday this new dish where you suck rocks and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Probably came from that for all we know.
There you go.
Okay.
It's from one of the spicy rock dishes that they love in China. Yep. I bet that was it.
Bet you're right.
At least we can discuss it, though, now. Without being silenced.
Yeah.
Apparently. Dana Carvey and David Spade were discussing things recently. Is this one of their
They do a podcast called Fly on the Wall.
Yeah.
I love...
Whose podcast is it? Is it Spades or Carvey's?
They're both. They're together on it. I love these guys. I think they're funny.
They are funny.
And I think this is funny that we're about to play. It's just that... Why wait this long to go this route?
Yeah, here it is.
You used to be mocking this guy years ago.
I miss COVID. I know. Dude, you know what I knew? There was trouble when anyone that came to our country didn't have to get a vaccine. And I go, if you're telling me I can't go to work, but everyone coming in doesn't have to get one, I go,
well, once we found out, when Fauci said,
Okay, I'm sorry. If you've had 2 boosters and 2 vaccines, you can get and give COVID to another guy who's had 5 vaccines and 4 boosters. What's the difference between a vaccine and a booster? I don't know. It's just more vaccine, but booster sounds better. Anyway, a guy with 25 vaccines would get and give COVID to another guy with 25 vaccines. That's why I'm introducing the daily COVID shot. Every day you get a shot. By the time you get to your car, you got no immunity. But it's a beautiful 39 seconds.
It's a beautiful 39 seconds. End quote.
That's great.
Yeah. Good stuff.
And they're forever blacklisted now in Hollywood, I'm sure. Because how dare you? How dare you say those things?
Yeah, I mean, we got the candle right here. I mean, you know that the man is
with respect.
Still worship. Oh, I forgot I put the knife. Oops.
Oops.
Do you want to get a close-up of that there, Joe? I mean, we got to keep the knife somewhere.
Right.
Where else are you going to keep it but in the candle above St. Fauci of
Isn't that where everybody
DCC?
keeps their knives? I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Well, is that camera got the slowest zoom of all time? That is definitely not the Hawaii 5.0 zoom. Look at that
there
thing.
it is.
There
with
it
the
is.
knife right directly in it. That's not symbolic of anything.
No. Again, it's just a place to keep the knife.
It's a placeholder.
Right,
Really, is
thank
what
you.
it is. Apparently, speaking of the vaccine, and this story has nothing to do with that. We were speaking of the vaccine.
right.
Now this is a totally separate.
I'm glad you said that.
Story.
Okay, so we got to change our mindset. We were talking
Yes.
about COVID
Right.
origins.
Right,
the
and
vaccine,
and
now
maybe some
this
of its side effects, and now, but this
completely
is
separate deal.
Jamie Foxx is still not himself following his health crisis. Again, a completely separate, not related story.
Right, completely.
Kind of a non sequitur we're just throwing out there. He suffered a medical complication in April. You remember that? And he was at death's door, apparently. Yeah. I mean, his family was asking for prayers. It looked really bad. He seems to have recovered somewhat, but he's still not himself, they're saying. He's getting the best care, working hard to recover right now, but he is not himself. He has the tightest circle around him, is what they're saying. That's the big update. He finally picked up the phone and said, thank you, bro.
End quote.
This is according to co-star John Boyega, who's a co-star in They Cloned Tyrone. I'm unfamiliar
So
with
he's
that.
been suffering for over 2 months now.
Months and months.
And he finally is at the point where he can pick up the phone and talk to a co-star in a movie they're doing.
But Boyega said he's doing well, and then, we're just giving him the privacy, and we can't wait for his return. Well, he's still not himself, though. He's still suffering some kind of ill effect from who knows what.
Who knows? I'm sure it's
nothing.
But Pat Gray overtime yesterday. This is the kind of individual, Jamie Foxx, that by reports was forced to take a vaccine that he didn't want to, just so that he could work.
Right.
And then reportedly, some are suggesting that he is suffering the effects of that vaccine that he didn't want to take. And this is the kind of person that, as we played on Pat Gray overtime yesterday, that a Jeffrey Toobin just dismisses and says, whatever. First of all, yes, I still think you should be forced to get the vaccine. And some people are claiming that the vaccine is harming them. Rolls his eyes, arrogant. This is people's lives you're messing with. And I really hope Jamie Foxx makes a full recovery from whatever is causing this.
Me too. And we talked about that. Was it it was a professional athlete, professional basketball, right?
Yeah.
Who also did not want to get the vaccine. And he was forced into it because of the team he plays on. He plays in Spain. They insisted he be vaccinated before he could play. So he did, reluctantly got vaccinated. Then he developed myocarditis. And then during a test of his heart, a stress test on his heart, he died. 28 years old. Professional athlete. Again, those are unrelated stories.
And these are just
nothing to do with anything.
The people that we hear about.
Yeah, right.
That are the professional athlete, the actor. I got a message 2 days ago from a listener to this program. She wrote us and said, my 22-year-old son died 14 days after getting the vax in his sleep from a heart attack. This issue is very close to my heart. And again, these are just You don't hear about
22
what's happening to people.
Right.
Like, it's just
right.
This is so bad.
All right. Let me share this with you because we are trying to save lives on several different fronts, but we're celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the overturning of Roe v. Wade right now. And so let's take a moment and recognize the over 64 million babies whose lives were taken at the hand of abortion. Pray for those mothers who still mourn for their children. Preborn honors these precious souls who never had a chance to take their first breath. Who would they have become? I mean, we've lost an entire... Think of that. 64 million people. That's a whole generation of people. And the sad reality is that the abortion pill accounts for over 50% of abortions. But every day, Preborn's network of clinics rescues 200 babies' lives, offering love, support, compassion to those hurting mothers. So please, would you consider donating $64 to honor the precious lives lost? If you can, and you have that in your heart and your wallet, please do that. $28, though, will supply an ultrasound for these expectant mothers. 80% of the time after seeing the ultrasound, they choose life. So it's really whatever you can afford. If it's $1, that's greatly appreciated. Help us reach our goal this year of 10,000 babies to save. Just go to preborn.com/Pat. Our Blaze goal is 70,000 babies this year. So if you can help, go to preborn.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Bud Light sales. They're worse again this last month than they were the month before. 28.5%.
This is the story that
year
just
to
keeps
year.
on giving, man.
It's amazing. I mean, this thing is sticking to them. It really is. 28.5%.
Bud Light, man. It's a pariah now.
Yeah. It was 26.5% the month before. So now they are doing everything they possibly can with these. What was the, it was like the White Trash Festival commercial that we played the other day where, look, Hicks, we're one of you. We don't like those other people neither. we hate them too, so.
White Trash Festival. Actually, we need to make this a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, somebody, Jeffy can run point on this.
Okay.
We need a White Trash Festival.
Yes.
Every year. It's like Lollapalooza.
I like it.
But it's the White Trash Festival. We could have music acts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got this, y'all. No Bud Light served here.
They're running a 4th of July holiday promotion right now to try to get customers back to buying Bud Light. So they're offering a $15 rebate when you buy a 15-pack of Bud. The Bud Light, the Budweiser, the Budweiser Select, or Budweiser Select 55. And the rebate will be paid out via a digital card. Now, the 15-pack, I believe, costs less than $15, right? Am I mistaken on that? In some areas where you pay less than $15 for a pack like this, they're paying you to take. They're giving you money to take the Bud out of the store.
That is so great.
That's amazing.
It's
amazing.
Don't think you don't have an impact.
Right. Because, they're feeling it. They're feeling it. And they're trying to find a way out of it. And I don't know if there is one. It may be too late for them.
They're honestly going to have to just... An iconic brand is going to have to be completely eliminated. I think they're going to have to move on from this thing.
Like, what else can they do?
There's not going to be Bud Light. I predict within 2 years...
Bud Light's gone?
It's not even going to be a thing. And they may bring it back as a different beer, and people are going to be like, wow, this tastes like Bud Light. I don't think Bud Light's going to be able to survive this.
But it looks like all their brands dropped last month. So the Bud Light dropped 28.5%, as I said. Sales of Busch Light, which Budweiser owns, dropped 8.1%, and Michelob Ultra, which they also own, dropped 4%. So people are catching on to the fact
they know Anheuser-Busch brand.
They know the products that they need to avoid, and they're avoiding them.
So fun.
Modelo's sales, on the other hand, continue to climb, as does Miller Lite, as does Coors Light, and Yuengling Lager?
Yingling.
Yingling? Okay. Yingling.
Just keep moving.
Yingling.
Pennsylvania.
Is that from China?
Oh, no, oldest brewery in America.
Is it really?
Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm.
Where do they come up with Yuengling?
Yingling? I don't know.
That's weird.
Actually, I don't know that answer.
It sounds Asian, but okay. Hackers have targeted Fort Worth's cyber system.
Oh, David Yingling.
Yingling?
David. Or Rich. I don't know, man. That's the last name of the people that established it in 1829.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's old.
In Germany.
So hackers are targeting Fort Worth's cyber system. Why are they doing that? Because of Texas's gender surgery stance. Oh, my.
Wow, okay.
Jeez. City of Fort Worth believes it was targeted by cyber criminals because of the stance Texas has on sex reassignment surgery for minors. Okay. Again, it's the mutilation of children that everybody can get behind.
So we're going to hack your system to show you.
Yeah.
Since your state is
show you.
Not going to allow kids to be cut up and butchered.
You won't allow the kids to be hacked. We're going to hack you. How about that?
All right.
Jeez. They said, we decided to make a message toward the U.S. government. Texas happens to be one of the largest states banning gender-affirming care. And for that, we have made Texas a target. That's according to something they posted. Earlier this month, Greg Abbott signed a bill that banned gender transitioning treatment for minors, including sex reassignment surgeries and cross-sex hormones. And this is what they refer to, these kinds of laws, when they say that there are 600 anti-trans laws.
Good point.
It's just, that's not what is happening here. What is happening is pro-children, not anti-trans. But the hackers reportedly stole information from the website that tracked city orders, but no sensitive information was released. Wink, wink. Yeah, I'm sure that's the case.
Yeah. So they went after the computer systems in the city that houses the college that we talked about yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
That has a how to be a drag queen class.
Yes. Okay. Yes. That being TCU, which stands for Texas Christian University, which is fascinating, isn't it?
Do they do the glitter creed there, or what is it called? The sparkle creed? Is that
sparkle?
Okay. Sparkle creed. Get out of here with that. Sparkle.
What do you mean get out of here with that? That was beautiful. You didn't appreciate the sparkle creed? Play that again, because this needs to sink in for Keith. Okay. I don't think you realized what's being said here.
All right, here we go.
Here's the sparkle creed.
The sparkle creed. I believe in the non-binary God whose pronouns are plural.
Look at the guy in the back.
I believe in Jesus Christ, their child,
got a drink,
who wore a fabulous tunic,
wearing shorts,
and had 2 dads,
who wore a fabulous
and saw everyone as
tunic.
a sibling child of God.
So weird.
I believe in the rainbow spirit who shatters our image of one white light and refracts it into a rainbow of gorgeous diversity.
Gorgeous diversity.
I believe in the church of everyday saints as numerous, creative, and resilient as patches on the AIDS quilt, whose feet are grounded in mud and whose eyes
feet are grounded
gaze at the
in
stars
mud.
in wonder.
Kind of weird.
I believe in the calling to each of us that love is love is love.
Is love.
So beloved,
is love.
let us love.
So let us love the love that is
God,
love.
help my unbelief. Amen. For Taylor Swift and her Swiftie fans.
All right,
and
do we have to do the prayers? Hold on, I want to look at this. So she's got the communion cup there. Is that the chalice or whatever it's called? So are the parishioners, everybody gonna have to be drinking after her? Because I don't see little communion cups. I ain't drinking after that chick.
Why?
From the same cup.
Wow, that's
Ugh.
hateful. That is really hateful.
What is she carrying around?
She's not my type.
Anyway, I don't know. Boy, is that? Hold on a second. I'm not dogging the church here, but is the nursery in the sanctuary? What's happening back there? They got like little baby stuff going on.
Yeah.
Boy,
they've got more going on there than I want to know about. That's for sure.
That's.
Meanwhile, the Vatican has ordered an investigation targeting Bishop Strickland of Tyler, Texas. Why?
Oh gosh, man.
Because
what egregious sin did the bishop, the Catholic bishop from Texas, commit? What happened?
He has been polarizing. I don't know if you're aware of that.
No, by going out to the Dodgers protest and
that polarized
preaching God's
people.
word and saying, hey, maybe we shouldn't be glorifying groomers here.
Okay, when the group, what are they called? The Sisters of the
Indulgence.
Whatever. They're inside Dodger Stadium and they're mocking and ridiculing Catholicism. So this particular Catholic bishop,
too polarizing,
went to Los Angeles and participated in a really nice Catholic and Christian supporting rally outside of Dodger Stadium, attended by thousands, and I guess that was wrong.
That's polarizing.
To the Vatican.
I mean,
polarizing.
We asked the churches to stand up, and when individuals like this bishop do that, they get slapped down by the Vatican.
Right.
Yeah, there's a problem.
Yeah.
What's
so that old question, is the Pope Catholic?
Okay.
The answer might surprise you now. I think it might be no.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.